As mayor, I will have an initiative for the homeless. And that's not directly answering your question, but there's a direct tie-in between mental health, mental illness, and people who are on the street. It's coming from the initiative on the homeless has to be an initiative on housing for the homeless. And coming from that has to be an initiative for the mentally ill people and housing. We need a holistic approach to treatment that includes both housing, economic opportunities, and the diagnostic treatment and care. And that needs to be focused. The city has to have a organized program to provide that housing. And we have to be very, very careful, because there are a lot of neighborhoods will say, in theory, oh yeah, that's a great idea, Gene Locke, but not in my neighborhood. And that's going to be the real challenge, to get people to understand that all Houstonians are entitled to and should have adequate housing, and we must have that housing available.
Along the same lines, when we talk about mental illness and how we can help them, we first look at the homeless that are out there. And you know, there could be somewhere around 6,000 to 7,000 individuals out there that need help. You know, unfortunately though, our state ranks 50th in the United States in assistance to the mentally ill. I will be a loud voice to our state representatives, to our state senators that are letting down those 6,000 to 7,000 individuals on the street. That's where it starts first. In the meantime, we have to have plans out there that we can get those individuals into a housing area, to a roof over their head. But let me tell you, it is so hard to get them there because they do have that illness. It's hard to get them off the street when their belongings are behind a bush. They're not going to leave it. They're afraid that if they return, it'll be gone. We have to devise a plan, and we need your help to do that. But let me say again, we have to get our state engaged so we can get that funding from the federal government to take care of our citizens.
One of the things that I've long been concerned about is that many of the people who are shot and killed by law enforcement are mentally ill. And the city has a program, crisis intervention response teams, where we pair HPD officers, trained HPD officers, with mental health professionals to go to sites and hopefully diffuse situations before they escalate into those things. So I'd love to see an expansion of that. The other is that the traditional thinking on homelessness is there is a significant substance abuse or mental health component of that, and well, they need to get straight, and then we're going to give them housing. Well, the latest thinking is, well, duh, how does anybody get straightened out on the street? You need stability in order to kick your substance abuse problems. You need stability in order to deal with your mental health problems. So you need to provide housing. And I have an absolute plan to overhaul our Housing and Community Development Department to make it a more effective user of grant dollars, but also to coordinate more effectively with groups like the Coalition for the Homeless.
We do need to have a strong mental health aspect to all of these programs. That's a very important part of this overall challenge that we have. And we need to set some goals. The issue of the homeless in Houston comes to mind. We have in the city of Houston about 9,000 documented homeless. The cost of that to society or to the taxpayer is somewhere between $50,000 and $60,000 per person a year. If you multiply that out, it's $450 to $500 million a year. And so we need to ask the question, what kind of program can we have to solve the problem rather than warehousing homeless persons and people with severe mental issues? And that's why we have, but it needs to be improved, a 10-year plan to end homelessness in the city of Houston. And the key part of that plan is called Home First. But in the next 10 years, through the efforts of the city, we need to build about 5,000 single-room occupancy units over the 10-year period. That's about 3 projects by New Hope Housing or these other groups that do that. We're moving forward on it, but we're not moving fast enough. I think we can make a change that'll make a difference.